This movie is written and directed by Peretz, and he hasn't done very much. He's done a lot of TV and a few other smaller independent films. This movie stars Paul Rudd, and he plays a man named Ned, who is a very optimistic, fun-loving, kind of neo-hippie granola type of guy. And he has three sisters, played by Zooey Deschanel, Emily Mortimer, and, well, Rashida Jones is in there, plays Zooey Deschanel's lesbian lover. He just gets released out of prison because he was dumb enough to actually sell marijuana to a cop because he had so much trust in this person as being a nice person. And when he's released, he's sort of floating. He doesn't really have a job. He's on parole, and he needs to make sure that he's doing everything according to plan. And so he kind of bounces from one sister to the other, and what the movie comes to realize is that Ned actually has everything a lot more figured out than his sisters, who have their personal lives in upheaval, and their marriages and their relationships. And he kind of goes through and, because he's so optimistic and he's so honest, kind of gets these people into a lot of trouble by exposing what none of them want to talk about. I felt like this was a movie that it didn't have a lot of ambition. The comedy stakes are pretty low, but because of that, there's a lot more hits than misses. I laughed pretty well through. I really like the characters all throughout the movie. I think they're very well drawn and for the most part believable. And I really specifically like the character that that Paul Rudd kind of came up with here. It's sort of a variation on the dude character from Jeff Bridges in The Big Lebowski, but maybe a little bit sweeter, a little bit warmer. And that's generally the tone of the movie. It's a realistic, somewhat dark comedy that takes its characters seriously, and you can still tell likes its characters. And because of that, I was able to pretty much go with the movie all the way through. Though I will say that the last third of the movie, things kind of get wrapped up very conveniently. The plot sort of ties up in a way that's, it kind of feels like the movie knew that it had to end, so they kind of come up with some less than exciting ways to bring everything together. But I'd say even though that the movie is kind of a low ambition, much like its main character, I still felt it was very likable and quite enjoyable, I thought. And for the performances alone, I'd say check it out. And I would give Our Idiot Brother a B+.